All right, for this module, it is looking at Canadian identity. Many of you may look at this topic and think this seems more like a social studies topic. And yes, possibly it could be, but it's just to get your brain thinking about the topic of Canada, because all of our literature that we will be looking at in this course is focused on Canadian literature. So pieces that were written within Canada by Canadian authors have specific Canadian topics. Many of the pieces of literature we will look at actually focus on local topics, so Saskatchewan, Regina topics, also authors that are from right here in Saskatchewan as well. So for this assignment, number one, I want you to list 10 things you think you know about Canada. So for this one, I don't want you to open up Google. I don't want you to open or look up anything. I just want you to list 10 things you think you know about Canada. These do not need to be right answers. You can just finish these sentences A to J. And then number two, here is where I need you to do a little bit of research and open up your phone or tablet or computer and look up 10 actual facts about Canada. So I gave one example. Canada has 10 provinces and 3 territories. That is an actual fact. So you can just fill out A to J again. Try your best to make complete sentences. And then question number 3 is asking you, why do you feel it is important to understand the world around us? So the world beyond our immediate community, city, province, and explain. So a lot of us have maybe never ever left the neighborhood that we grew up in, have never left Regina. So you may be naive to a lot of other things that are going on in different parts of the city, the province, the country, and even the world. Why do you think it is important that we have a really good understanding of things that are going on around in the world? But for those of you that were not born in Regina or Canada and came here from another country, I know many of you have, why do you think it is important to understand the world around us? Living now in this safe little, you could call it a bubble that we call Regina, when many people that you are sitting beside or working beside or interacting with have never been outside of this area, but yet you, being from another country, have so much experience. Why do you think it is important to understand the world? Number 4, if you are not from Canada, so this is a similar question to the last one, talking about if you are from somewhere else in the world, how are things different living here in Canada, and more specifically Saskatchewan? You could even mention Regina. So if you are not from Canada, if you were born in another country and came over to Canada or to Regina, how are things different? Is the quality of life different? The food, the living conditions, all of that, how is it different from where you came from? But if you are from Canada, for example, you were born here, you've lived here all your life, that would be me. I was born in the south end of Regina. I've lived in Regina my entire life. Yes, I have traveled to many places, but Regina is my home. I don't plan on leaving Regina in my lifetime. What is your favorite and least favorite part of living here? So if you have always lived in Regina, you may have experienced other locations in the world via maybe moving there for a while, going on a vacation, visiting family and friends, whatever it may be. What do you notice about when you leave Regina as opposed to what it's like when you're just here? So when you leave Regina, obviously things are different in other places in the province, in the country, in the world. But what do you like about living in Regina? So I want you to tell me what is your favorite thing about it here, and then possibly what is your least favorite thing about living here. I have a feeling many of you are going to say the weather, which is obviously justified. Number 5 is asking, if you could travel to any other province or city in Canada, where would you go and why? So I realize that a lot of you have never left Regina. So think about where you might want to travel if you had the opportunity. Where in Canada would you like to go, and why does that place interest you? If you have been to many places in Canada, try to think of somewhere where you have not been. For example, I have been to almost every province in the country, but I have never been to Prince Edward Island. So I would say that would be where I would want to go. Number 6 is asking you to tell me, where is the farthest you have traveled outside of Regina? Did you notice any changes to the environment around you? So if you are not from Canada or from Regina, obviously the farthest place you have traveled is from the country probably that you came from, so you can comment on that. Otherwise, if you are currently from Regina, where is the farthest place you have visited? What province, what city, what country, what continent even? Number 7, this is just again for me to get to know you a little better. What nationality or culture do you identify as? Please tell me something unique or interesting about yourself and about your identity, about your culture. Number 8. This circle with these arrows coming out of it is called a concept map. We also sometimes call it a brainstorm web. Basically, it is just a way to get our ideas flowing. So we often use these concept maps or brainstorm webs when we are first starting out, just to get our ideas down on paper. So often this could be used if we are writing a short story or a paragraph assignment or an essay, something like that. So the main topic goes in the center, and all of the ideas surrounding or about that topic would go on the outside. So our topic is identity. It is your identity. So the main topic is identity. All of the ideas that go around, so that have to do with your own identity, would go around the outside. For example, if I was to talk about my identity, so I would write Lisa or Lisa Mann's identity in the center. Some of the ideas that have to do with my identity might be my pet cat, my husband, my daughter, some of the places I've traveled to, so Hawaii, Mexico, Europe. Another thing, I like skiing, I like snowboarding, I like wake skating in the summertime. I like to go to the mountains. I like to sleep. Sleep is probably one of my favorite things. I like naps. So anything that has to do with your own identity would go around the outside. So for this, you do need to fill this out. It is worth 1 mark. And then to follow this, there is a paragraph assignment that is worth 4 marks, to total 5. So for this paragraph assignment, you need to, the assignment's just above here. You need to tell me why you selected the words you did and how they represent your identity. So any of the words you write around the outside of this concept map, you just need to create into a paragraph. Should not be too difficult at all.